Okay, this one right here on 19 through 22 are about sequences. You notice the first one, it doesn't ask if it's, or 19, it doesn't ask if it's arithmetic or whatever. It just asks to determine the pattern, which should be pretty easy, and then tell the next two terms. So you have, how do you get from 2 to 4? Well, you'd multiply by 2. How do you get from 4 to 8? Multiply by 2. 8 times 2 is 16. So obviously it's going to be multiply the previous term by 2. You're not just adding. And then 16 times 2 is 32, and 32 times 2 is 64. So that one means that the answer to that one is correct. That one is D. On this next one, it says you have -5, and then you have 5. Then you have -5, and then you have 5. So subtract 10 from the previous term. Well, -5 minus 10 is going to be -15. So it's not going to be that one. Multiply the previous term by 1. Well, -5 times 1 is going to be -5, so it cannot be that one. This one says add 10 to the previous term. Well, -5 plus 10 is actually going to be 5. So then what is 5 plus 10? Well, that one's 15, so it cannot be that one, so don't let that one throw you off. Now, multiply the previous term by -1. -1 times -5 is going to be 5. 5 times -1 is -5, and vice versa. So it is also D. Let's look at 21. That's where it gets a little more into the arithmetic sequences. So 2, how do you get from 2 to 5? Remember, the word arithmetic means to add. So unless you're adding, it's not considered arithmetic. Okay? If it's multiplying, that's geometric. We're not asking about that. Remember, we didn't do that, so add. So 2 plus 5 is 7. Okay, 7 plus 6 is 13, and 13 plus 7 is 20. So that's not the same difference every time, is it? So no, that is not arithmetic. On this one, how do you get from -5 to 8.3? Well, if you add a negative 3.3, then if you add a negative 3.3 to that one, you get 11.6. And then if you add a negative 11.3, you get 14.9. So every time they are adding a negative 3.3, so that means that it is arithmetic because it's adding, even if it's adding a negative. So it's going to be that one. Now, a little bonus question for you down here. Bonus question. Find the first, fifth, and 10th terms of the sequence. Well, you have to remember what this little formula right here means. Remember, that means it's an arithmetic sequence. And then the arithmetic sequence, the way that this is written is this number 4 is your common difference. So that's your common difference. That is the term that you're looking for. So if I just plug in here 1, 5, and 10 into this formula and then solve, then I should be able to get that. So if I plug in 1, so this will be to get the first term, and this video may cut off. In order to get the first term, I would say -8 is equal to, and then the first term is going to be 1 minus 1, and then times 4. So 1 minus 1 is 0. 0 times 4 is 0. So